Prince George's County is an area where different people from different cultures all reside and work together in order to make our community better.
I love how everybody's kind of united.
It was just a blessing to be able to be surrounded by people of color within my county, and it definitely helped me develop into the man that I am today.
So we're going on this road trip to meet professionals in the area, people from different career fields,
and interview them in order to get insight on our own next steps as young professionals.
I am interested in pursuing information science/information technology. They're very similar, and so getting to interview people who are in the same field will help me decide which path I want to take.
I think what's exciting for me is just learning more about work-life balance when it comes to these career paths and financial stability as well.
I wanted to go to this road trip because I'm graduating next year. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know what I want to do. So I thought this was the perfect opportunity for me to get insight into my next steps and understanding how to navigate as a young adult going into the professional world.
My name is Henry Acha. I grew up in Prince George's County. PG County is a melting pot of different cultures. You definitely feel at home here if you're a minority, but even if you aren't a minority. There's a lot of immigrants here that immigrate from Latin countries, African countries. That's been beneficial to my upbringing. Just seeing people that look like me on a daily basis. I'm half Dominican and half Nigerian. I'm fluent in both English and Spanish. So I do think my background's a really big part of who I am. Right now I attend the University of Maryland, College Park, where I study finance. I was always enamored with entrepreneurship, but during the pandemic, I became really interested in finance. I was watching like a lot of finance YouTubers, and I was learning a lot more about like passive income. In 2022 is when I officially launched my very first business, like right before my senior year of high school. It was called Glimmer Kitchen. I immediately just started advertising on TikTok, created the website on Shopify, and I got orders, I believe, within the first 2 weeks. I think growing up low income was a very big factor in me wanting to forge my own path in entrepreneurship, create financial stability, passive income, long-term wealth, potentially even generational wealth. I would love to work as a business analyst potentially, or even work on Wall Street as an investment banking analyst or in private equity. So I'm kind of just trying to narrow it down to what I truly want to do. I'm excited to talk to everybody, just learning more about work-life balance when it comes to these career paths. Money is important, but also time is even more important.
My name is Marquita, but everybody calls me Key. I am the owner of Thread and Soul, powered by Kinetics Lab, which is a sneaker and apparel customization lab. All right, so you guys can go ahead and take your laces out. Here at the table, we have deglazer. This deglazer actually strips the sneakers. So when these come from the tannery or the leather factories, they are actually coated with a solution that's protecting them from rain, elements, snow, all the things. We're gonna now pick out the paints and all the other accessories, and we are going to get started.
Can you talk a little bit about yourself?
I do say that I'm a New Yorker, but I was actually born in DC, so I have roots here. I believe that the grittiness of New York, that go-getter mentality, has definitely helped me start this business and grow this business.
I know that you have an extensive background in teaching financial literacy to young students. What kind of sparked your interest in that? And do you have a desire to take that further?
The program is actually called Footwear and Finance, and I actually will be teaching that here in the lab. But yes, I have done that in schools, and where they get to actually learn how to count money, what it's like to produce in a factory, like understanding their budget, different things. So it's a really cool program, and I think it's really important to know that you can make money in this industry, but also still be creative at the same time.
Can you talk a little bit about how you were able to intertwine your creativity with your entrepreneurial skills?
I studied shoe design and fashion design. I started as an assistant designer, left the corporate space, started teaching shoe design and fashion design in New York City public schools as a vendor. And it was actually a really rewarding experience. I actually learned a lot about myself, empathy, caring more for others. A lot of people say that in the creative field, you're not gonna make a lot of money, or you're not gonna be successful or financially solvent. However, you cannot let that affect you. You do have to follow your dreams and your passions. And as long as you really take the reins and keep going, you'll make it.
What's been the biggest obstacle in your journey as an entrepreneur?
The most challenging thing, I think, is being a woman and also being a woman of color, because there are just certain hurdles that you have to jump through. You have to work 10 times as hard just to, accomplish the same things or make a certain amount of money that your counterparts seem to be making. So that was the challenge in itself. And I definitely experienced that in the corporate design world, hence why I actually decided to leave and start my own business. If you feel like a space is not designed for you, it's okay to assess that and make pivots. I think that's really important. I don't feel like a person should be forced to be in an environment in which they don't want to be.